Hey, what is up guys, it's MC Hacker here, and today I am bringing you a video of every single zombies map ranked from worst to best. Now with Black Ops Cold War announced, I decided it would be a best time to make this video as I actually wanted to do it for a very long time, but I never got to actually ranking any zombie map. But what I decided to do is play the majority of zombie maps again, come up with a list that I carefully made, and make a video. I'm going to go over a few rules. Number one, no remasters. We are only going to look at the original version of the map, and Derice and the Giant will be morphed into one map. And also, I decided to rank the individual maps of TranZit because I guess they are sort of their own map in a way. So they will be included. Spoiler alert, two of them will be at the absolute bottom of the list. Um, yeah, that's pretty much the rules. Keep in mind, again, this is my opinion, and some of the choices may be controversial. And let's get started with the list. Alright, so the worst map, in my opinion, of all time is Farm. Now, the reason why I think Farm is the worst map of all time is because it is a small portion of one of the worst maps of all time, but I also think it's just a very ugly map, and you don't have much to work with. You have the perks, and you have the mystery box. You don't have any pack punch, but I really think this is the worst thing you could possibly play. The environment is very disgusting. It's ugly. You don't have much to work with. It's a very boring and primitive map, and it's just it's not visually pleasing at all. And in my eyes, I think that could add a lot to a zombies map. And just in my opinion, I think this is the worst map you could play. It's not really fun. It could be fun, but the majority of the time it's boring, and there's so many better options for survival maps like 5, Classified, Town. There's a lot of better survival maps out there, and I just think Farm falls short the most. Okay, so right in front of Farm will be Bus Depot. This is probably expected, but in my eyes, I think Bus Depot is also one of the worst maps of all time. Bus Depot is very, very boring, even for a survival map, which is typically supposed to be very fun. It is a boring map. You don't have any perks. You only have the mystery box, and pretty much what you're seeing in this gameplay right now is pretty much all there is to Bus Depot, other than the inside, which is the starting room. But this map is just very, very, very boring. I don't see why anyone would want to play it. I do have it ranked above Farm because personally, if I had to pick one of them, I would choose this one, even though there's no perks. And I just think it's a better alternative, even though it's still very boring and bad map in my opinion. Alright, so coming in at number 30 will be Shi No Numa. Now, this may come as a surprise to a lot of people, and by the way, before I even start, I would like to say that I am going to link all the gameplay I get, the YouTube channels I get the gameplay from, in the description, so I'm not, stealing. But, okay, so on to Shi No Numa. Now, I had this ranked at number 30, and this may surprise a lot of people, but in my eyes, I think Shi No Numa is by far the worst World at War map. Shi No Numa is a very buggy map, and it's also one of the easiest maps of all time. And the only reason why I could see someone actually want to play this map seriously, and yes, I'm looking at the World at War version exclusively. I think it's just to get the high rounds. I mean, this is the easiest map of all time for a number of reasons. One, you have the Wonder Waffle, which is one of the best wonder weapons of all time, and two, you only have 24 zombies around after round 4. Yes, after round 4, there are 24 zombies around for the rest of the game. No matter if you're on round 100 or round 5, there's only 24 zombies per round. And it is just a very easy map. And also, aside from that, there's also a few very bad issues in my opinion. I don't like the mud. The mud is very annoying. I don't like how you have to go to each and every part of the map in order to get all the perks you need. That could be very annoying. And also, the World at War zombies are very buggy, so they could kind of kill you in very random ways. And I just don't like this map very much. A lot of people do. I don't, and also it's also not really visually pleasing. So that's another negative for me. Um, I feel bad playing this low, but when I really went back to play it with fresh fresh breath of air, and checked it out for the first time in a while, I kind of do realize that this map really did suck for its time. I guess it was pretty cool because it was one of the first maps that actually took place outside, and it was a big map for its time. But still, when you have to look at it from all angles and conclusively, it is a pretty bad map. And the only reason, like I said, the only reason why I want to see someone play this is just so they could get to a very high round. Most of the, I mean, all of the zombie world records are usually on this map. There's a 10K, I believe, a few weeks ago that was taking place on this map because this map is mind-numbingly easy. It's a very, very easy map, and it's just not a very good map, sadly. But I have it at number 30. It is what it is, and let's move on. Okay, so in at number 29 will be Nacht Der Untoten. Yes, I do feel bad for putting this low, but when you think about it, it is a very primitive map. It can be very boring. Again, the only reason why I could see someone really playing this map is to get to higher rounds because, again, there's also that 24 zombie cap that is also on this map as well. And before I say anything, I do want to say that I truly do kind of like this map because it can be fun, especially when you revisit it after a long time because it's kind of a change of pace. You go from, very complicated Easter eggs, crazy wonder weapons, very crazy detailed maps. And it's a big jump kind of to this map. And you kind of realize what zombies once was. It was a very primitive and, kind of bonus game mode to the side. No one really expected zombies to blow up like it did. And, that's a pretty cool element when you really look at it. But again, this was a very primitive map. There was no perks. This is the only map of all time without perks except for a few other maps in Black Ops 2, I believe. And yeah, this map is cool. It could be very fun still, but when you really look at it, it's just a very primitive map, and I don't know what that glitch was. But it's a very primitive map, and I really just can't rank it any higher than this. But yes, it is a classic, and you can still have fun on Nacht Der Untoten. Alright, so right above Nacht Der Untoten will be Verruckt. Now, I think Verruckt is better than Nacht Der Untoten. I actually think it's a lot better, but even still, I still only have it at one slot above it because when I went back to play this map, I actually realized that it actually is a pretty good map. But it also has a lot of issues. Again, it's a very buggy map, and it's also very hard. Um, it's just one of the excuse me, it's one of the least player-friendly maps of all time. It is a pretty cool map, and it is pretty good. I think a lot of people don't realize how good this map actually is, even though I only have it at number 28, for a lot of reasons, but it can still be a very fun challenge. Again, you could actually easily high round on this map if you're good, but again, it is a pretty bad map when you really look at it all around. But at the same time, it is still pretty underrated. I don't know if I'm making sense right now, but what I'm trying to say basically is even though it is sort of a bad map, I still feel it's underrated. Because when I went back to play this map, I realized that it is actually pretty good, and I couldn't like even think about like for its time. It must have been so revolutionary. Like it's a big jump from not, even though I only have it at one spot higher. And personally, I don't mind this map very much, but I could see why a lot of people do. It is just not a very player-friendly map. But I still have it fairly low, but again, I still like it decently, and I think this is a pretty good spot for it on the list. Okay, so coming in at number 27, we have 5. 5 is a cool map. I will give it that, but I also have a lot of problems with it. I do not like how close quartered this map is. It is very annoying. It is a very hard map, but I can see why a lot of people like that. A lot of people like the challenge. Personally, I also like challenge, but I think this map is just a little bit too much. You don't have a lot of strength on this map. You have the Winter's Howl, which is decent. It's not that good, but I guess it's decent. You have perks. You have Pack-a-Punch. You have a pretty cool boss zombie, which is the Pentagon Thief. He's pretty cool. He can come and take your weapon, but if you're good, you'll usually kill him and get your weapon back. And he'll reward you for it, and it's a pretty good addition to the map. Pack-a-Punch is fairly simple. Getting to the power is pretty simple as well. But I personally think this map is just too difficult, and I can see why a lot of people don't like it. Fun fact, this was actually supposed to be the launch map for Black Ops 1, which it actually didn't, because Nacht Der Untoten wasn't released at World at War because they feared that it would threaten the release of Modern Warfare 2, because they feared people would play this map a lot, which they did, which was a smart move. So they moved it up to Black Ops 1. Sorry, I'm so short of breath. But, yeah, 5, number 27. Alright, so in at number 26, we have TranZit. A lot of people expect this to be dead last, but personally, this is actually one of my favorite maps ever. Yeah, that sounds weird to say out loud, but I really do like TranZit. I think it's a very cool map, but I can see why a lot of people don't like it. It does have a lot of big issues. The fog can be very annoying, especially when you miss the bus and you got to run through all the denizens, and they'll constantly be, scratching your head, attacking you, blah blah blah, and you have to knife them off, and you know the routine. The banking system, it's a Black Ops 2 issue at large. I don't want to add it to any negative to TranZit, but you already know what that is. Um, the map is very fun. It's a very cool map. A lot of people, I think, hate on this map too much. I think TranZit is actually a pretty decent map too. It's pretty fun. It has a lot of good qualities too. It's very challenging, very chaotic, and I think that adds a fun element to zombies, especially when you're playing with your friends. I think it is a very, very fun element to zombies. The fact that you have to get on a bus to travel to each part of the map is very, very cool. The pack-a-punch steps is they're kind of a tedious, and it could be very annoying when your turbine gets destroyed by a zombie when you're trying to pack a punch. But get good. No, I was playing around. But honestly, I do like TranZit, but I can see why a lot of people don't, which is why I have to rank it here. If this list was more based off opinion, which I'm trying not to do so much, I get it. I know it is in my opinion. I said that at the beginning of the video, but I also want to rank it objectively too. But if this was more opinion based, I'd probably have it a little bit lower. Not like in the top 10, but like I mean just a little bit lower, maybe like in the teens or something like that. But personally, I like TranZit. I can see why a lot of people don't, which is why I have it ranked it at number 26. Alright, so in at number 25, we had Voyage of Despair. Now, I think Voyage of Despair, just like TranZit, gets hated on a little bit too much. I know a lot of people don't like this map. Personally, I sort of don't like it, but I also like it at the same time. It is a decent map. It's a very media core map. It's on the Titanic, which is very, very cool. But I feel like they had a lot of potential with this map that they didn't take advantage of. I get where they were coming from with this map, but I think there was a lot more potential that could have been had with this map. I still think it's a very decent map. I think it's good. Um, you could have a lot of fun on this map. Pretty much like all zombie maps, you could always have fun. But this is a decent map. I feel like they wasted a lot of potential with Voyage of Despair. I think they could have had a lot done with this map. I think they could have made it something very, very special, which sadly I think they didn't. It is still a very good map. I still like it. I love the theme of being on the Titanic. It's very cool. But at the same time, again, they just wasted so much potential with this map. It could have been something very, very, very special. And again, it was a good map. I liked it. Um, it's one of the newer maps, of course, from Black Ops 4. And a lot of people don't like Black Ops 4 zombies. Um, Personally, I don't mind it too much. I just still think, I know I sound like a broken record, but just the potential this map had, man, it could have been something special. But I do have it ranked at number 25. Okay, so coming in at number 24, we have Alpha Omega. Now, I think Alpha Omega is a good map, but again, I think it's the potential factor that could have been there. Now, basically, what this is, if you don't know, because a lot of people don't know Black Ops 4 Zombies. Even I don't know much about it, even though I played it a lot. I think that this map had a lot of potential, but basically, if you don't know what it is basically a kind of reimagined Nuketown, and everyone loves Nuketown, so anyone could really get down with this map. But it's like a bigger version, a more complicated version of Nuketown Zombies. I just think that it could have been something special, like a lot of Black Ops 4 Zombies could have. But like it's just kind of boring. Like when you play it maybe like 3 or 4 times, you kind of realize what it really is. You kind of realize man, this kind of sucks. Like you kind of get that feeling. I still think it's a very good map. I think it's better than Voyage. I liked the elemental upgrades for the ray gun. I think that's very cool. That's a very, very, very cool concept. Um, this map also, I don't think it even like I don't like to get into the lore and the story of zombies. I really don't. But I don't see how Nuketown could have much of like a story like an involvement to zombies. I don't see that. But again, it is a good map, but I just think it's kind of lame. But I still have it placed fairly at number 24. Alright, so in at number 23, we have Dead of the Night, which I think is an awesome map. I love the concept of this map. I love the fact that it's like a mansion that's in the middle of nowhere that's kind of been like, it's kind of like I don't know how to describe the theme of it. I sort of forgot the term, but it's just a very, very cool like setting for a map. How it's kind of mystical sort of with its zombies and its bosses. I really do like this map, and you can see one right there. This map is so cool. I love it. I just love it. It's such an awesome concept. I think Dead of the Night is a very, very good map. Even though, again, a lot of people don't play it because a lot of people don't like Black Ops 4 Zombies. But if you really ever want to get into it, I would definitely recommend this map. It is something different. It's very, very cool and unique. I think there's not a lot of zombie maps that are quite like it. I really love this map. Um, Again, though, it has its problems. It is very, it has a lot of bosses. It's very overwhelming. This map, you are pretty much like, it's just always very chaotic, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. Also, I don't like the Easter egg and the Easter egg steps and, for the weapons and, all that. It could be very tedious. I don't like how I never like in zombies when you have to actually go look for little items, stuff like that. I don't like that personally. Some people may not mind it. I don't. I don't like how you pretty much have to be on YouTube looking for something if you really want to do the Easter egg. I don't like that at all. But personally, Dead of the Night, I really like this map. I would place it higher if it wasn't so tedious and chaotic. Okay, this is where I might start losing people, but in at number 22, I have Derice. Yes, I have Derice at number 22. And I honestly don't really understand the hype behind this map. For its time, I get it. It was a revolution, Pack-a-Punch, oh, that's all great stuff, but I went back to play this map several times, and I really just don't understand the hype behind how this is. Some people would say this is one of the best maps ever. Some people say it is the best map ever. I don't see it. It's primitive. It was from World at War. I get it. It was, made a lot of revolutionary changes to zombies. I could see that, but I don't want to rank this off of, innovation or revolution. You know, it does play a role, and it guess it kind of does play in the role in some of the ranking. But Derice is, it's very simple. Basically, if you don't know what Derice is, it's the final map of World at War. It was reimagined in the Giant, and it's the same thing as this map, which is why I'm not really including the Giant. But like Derice, it's simple. You go open up all the rooms, you link the teleporters, you sit on the catwalk, or you train. It's simple. It's very simple, and there's not much great to it. It is a great map. Okay, I want to say some positive things about it. It's a great map. It's very well designed. There's a lot of things you could do with Derice. It welcomes all playstyles. Brought Pack-a-Punch. It's a very creepy map if you think about the story behind it. A lot of people who don't would, I'm one of them really. But it is a very good map. It's very well designed. It could be very fun still. I don't want to make it sound like I'm down talking this map. I really do like this map. It is very innovative and it's very fun. But I don't think it is a very top tier map. I don't think it's like one of the best maps of all time, like some people say it is. I do like it. I think it is a good map. I think you could hop on this map, have a great time, just like any other map. But I do think it is overrated. Just a little bit too much. Alright, so in at number 21, we have Zetsubo no Shima. Now, even though I think this is the worst Black Ops 3 map by far, I still think it's a really good map. Zetsubo was hated by a lot of the community. I could definitely see why people don't like this map. I get it. But also, you can't ignore that it does have a lot of great qualities. It is a very, it's a very well designed map. It's very, I mean, it's actually very, very well designed. It's almost a perfect design. The way it flows, I think it flows very well. It's very, very, very cool. I love almost everything about this map, except the fact that there is a few issues. First, the Easter eggs very short and simple. I, for one, actually like long and complicated Easter eggs, but I guess that's more of a me problem. But also the thrashers and the overwhelming amount of thrashers, that is very annoying. I do not like it. I know it sounds weird how I'm just complaining about one boss zombie, but it really does add a lot of negative, feedback to this map. The planning system is okay, but it can be very, a little bit inconsistent. Um, the setting up on this map, it is a bit tedious, I will admit. But at the same time, aside from all those things, Zetsubo is a very good map. I really do like Zetsubo. It's pretty beautiful too, and it is really fun. It's just so well flowing, and I just have a lot of good things to say about this map. And it comes in at number 21. It's kind of like one of those middle of the pack maps. Doesn't stand out too much, but I wouldn't call it, I wouldn't call it trash either. I like Zetsubo. All right, we're now at number 20, and at number 20, we're starting with Die Rise. Now, I think this map is underrated. A lot of people like this map, a lot of people don't. For the people who don't, let me tell you why. I think you should like this map. Now, Die Rise was, I believe, the second DLC to Black Ops 2. I actually can't remember, but I think this map was very cool. And for the story behind it, I think it was very well done. It was a very creative map. So basically, for those who don't know why, TranZit, Buried, Die Rise, all kind of look the way they do, it's because in the map Moon, the Easter egg, you blow up the Earth and, you kind of destroy it, which is why everything looks destroyed. And I think it was a very good idea for a map. And it's also pretty fun too. It's pretty vertical the way you travel the map, but it's also, pretty normal too. I think the map is just very unique. I think it could be very fun. I love the flow of the map. Flow, not throw. I don't know what the hell I just said. But I think it is a very well flowing map. I think the way it like designs itself to be the map it is, I think it's done very well. It also has a lot of great qualities. There's a perk called Who's Who. A lot of people don't like it. I actually don't mind it. I think it's a good, reward for like being good. If you're able to train the zombies, go and revive yourself. I think that's pretty cool. I don't mind Who's Who, but I could see why obviously people don't like it. But, also, you build the wonder weapon for this map. That is cool. And also, the wonder weapon is probably one of the best wonder weapons ever. It literally, you shoot one shot, and you're pretty much good if you're standing behind that shot. You're good. You're good for the whole entire game. Not exactly, but still, I think this map is very, very good. A lot of people don't like it. I could see why. I get it. The fall damage. They even cock teased us with PhD Flopper. Yeah, come on, Treyarch. This map literally trolls too. You literally get trolled in this map. That's the funniest thing. Like there's a mystery box troll. There's a lot of trolls in this map. Okay, you can put your gun in the pack a punch. Pack a punch will disappear, and then you lose your gun. Like this map, there's a lot of trolls. And what you're seeing on screen right now, those are the jumping jacks. They're the Nova crawlers, but they jump around. Yeah, that's basically what they are. And they're the boss zombie of the map. But yeah, I don't have much amazing to say about Die Rise, but I still feel it's a good map. I don't have much amazing to say. It's not a masterpiece, but I still feel it is very good. Okay, at number 19, we have Nuketown Zombies. This map to me was a dream come true. I actually remember before this map came out, I was thinking to myself, like, how cool would it be if zombies was in Nuketown? And they made that a thing. That was really, really awesome. And this map's good. There's not much bad to say about it. It's a good map. It's a very fun survival challenge. It's not complicated. It's Nuketown. If you know Nuketown, you know Nuketown zombies as well. It's very, very, very fun. And, the only thing I guess, the only complaint I could really have is, the perks and Pack-a-Punch and all that. It could come at a completely different time. Altogether, the perks basically are randomized. They come from the sky about 5 rounds at a time, I believe. But that isn't much of an issue if you get lucky, or even if you don't get lucky, you can still survive. But this map is just very fun. It's Nuketown and zombies. That's pretty much all it is. And you have the ray gun Mark II. You have the basic you have the basic weapons, and you could high round on this map just like you'd high round on any other map, or something like that. It's Nuketown and zombies. I don't know what much to say. It's a fun map. It's fun for survival. It's a dream come true for me, and I like Nuketown, and I'm putting it at number 19. Okay, so right above Nuketown is going to be Town. Um, Basically, what Town is, it is a survival map that is a part of TranZit, but it's just very fun. It's basically the best portion of TranZit. You take it all apart, and you just have Town. It's very fun. There's not much to say. It's a fun survival challenge. You have perks. You have Pack-a-Punch instantly. You don't have to go turn on the power. Any of that. It's a fun survival map. There's not much to say. I don't want to waste too much time on it. If you know Town, you know Town. It's a fun survival map. You have Pack-a-Punch granted instantly. You have all the perks granted instantly. You know where they are. They're not randomly spawned. And it comes in at number 18. Alright, yes. And at number 17, we have Shi No Numa. By far, in my opinion at least, the most iconic, the most recognized, and the most played zombies map of all time. It is very, very iconic. Everyone remembers this map. It was actually one of my first maps, I'm sure. And it's just a fantastic map, really. It's a very well designed map. It's pretty simple. You have two ways to get to the power. You have the left side of the map, or you can go to the right side of the map. Both of them are pretty cool. One way's an alleyway, and then the other you go through the locker room, go through this little lobby area. It's a very well designed map, and of course this map gave birth to what we all know as the Thunder Gun. Fun fact: it was actually originally supposed to be in 5, but it uh, got turned into Kino, which you might have to take some credit off Kino for doing, because they kind of stole the weapon if you really think about it. But still, it is what it is. But Kino, great map. There's not much to say. It's a well-designed map. I like Kino. I think pretty much everyone does. But it is overrated because it can get boring really. Um, you know, Maybe first time playing in 4 years, hopping on with your friends, you're like, oh man, you guys remember this, all that. Then you maybe play it by yourself the next day, and then you realize like, okay, this is actually a little bit boring, because it is primitive, and it was originally supposed to be in World at War, which it wasn't, but still, um, I still like Kino. I still think it's a good map, and I think it belongs at number 17. All right, coming in at number 16, we have Blood of the Dead. Now, this was a very, very hard map to rank, and I'll explain why. So, basically what this was a reimagined version of Mob of the Dead, and it was, brought into Black Ops 4, and it's pretty much everything Mob of the Dead really is, but I also sort of feel that they made a lot of not necessarily bad, but weird changes to the map. And, this is a good map. Don't get me wrong. This is a very good map. It's a solid map, no doubt. But I don't want to rank it high because I sort of feel like, most of the map is irrelevant. You just get to the prison and you know, kind of just stay there. Move a little bit forward. Do some of the Easter egg steps, of course, and stuff like that. But really, once you get past the first part of the map, you don't really return there. It's kind of weird. It's a very weird feeling. But it's like this map is just a very weird map to rank. I didn't know if I should rank it low or high, so I decided to put it right in the middle of the list at number 16. There's 32 maps. So, I think this is a good map. It's not bad, but I don't know if I could really call it great either. It's a very weird difficulty for a map. Like if I had to really say like it is a good map, but I don't know why I would put it high. That's basically why it's at number 16. All right, we are now at the number 15 spot, and that will be Ascension. Ascension, it is a great map, but it is not perfect, just like probably every other zombie map of all time. Basically, my big complaint with this map is it is just so ridiculously easy. Ascension might be the easiest map of all time that doesn't have, the 24 zombie round cap, things like that. It's just a very easy map to high round. You get the thunder gun, and with all the space you have, it's very simple to, run around circles and, do your thing. It's simple. It's just really simple. But it's also just a great map. It's really nice looking. I'd say the design. I really like how innovative this map was, and I don't want to, include innovation too much in my ranking, but it was innovative a lot. And it is from the campaign of Black Ops 1, which is also pretty cool. And it's also it's just one of the better maps out there. It's a really nice map. Again, it's easy, but it's a very well designed map. It's very sound, and I have it in at number 15. Okay, and at number 14 we have Shangri-La. Now, you might ask, why do I have Shangri-La higher than both Nacht Der Untoten and Ascension? And that's because, this map grew on me a little bit. I actually used to hate this map, and I used to love, Kino, love Ascension. But when I came back to play the two maps, I kind of realized that maybe Shangri-La is the better of the three. And the reason I think that is, I personally think, like, I like challenge in zombies. Not crazy challenge, not ridiculous, overwhelming challenge that's freaking impossible. But I like a decent challenge. I like when you actually have to, kind of be alert, actually, really be careful, stuff like that. I think Shangri-La is the perfect map for that. And I think Shangri-La is also a beautiful map. It has a great Easter egg. It has one of the best wonder weapons ever. It is a very well-rounded map. I think it's a very underrated map. I think a lot of people don't realize how good Shangri-La really is. And I think it's just a great map. I think a lot of people, it gets overshadowed. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people look more at Black Ops 1's Kino and Ascension, Moon, all those other maps, and I feel like this map gets kind of left in the dust. But give it a try. If you haven't played this map in a while, come back to it. Maybe you'll appreciate it just like I did. You'll realize Shangri-La, it's actually a really good map, and I think we should look at that more. We should check that out again. We should check this map out again. Everyone should. I think you'll realize it just like I did. And I think it deserves to be at number 14. Okay, so in at number 13, I think, we have Revelations. Revelations is a great map. I don't care what anyone says. This is a really good map. Now, it is easy, but it is also just a very high quality and great map in my opinion. Um, this was the ending to Black Ops 3. And Black Ops 3 was one of the best zombie games ever, in my opinion. I think it actually might be the best zombies ever. And I think this was a great way to end it. It's sort of like a nostalgic wet dream. It's a bunch of, old classic maps blended into one. You kind of, it's just a really good flowing, a beautiful, just well designed, great map. And Easter egg, I guess it could be a little disappointing, but I guess, in a way it's still a little bit satisfying. I personally didn't mind it too much. But Revelations, it's a great map. It flows great. It's a really awesome, nostalgia trip. There's not too much to say. It's just it is a fun map, and I get that it could kind of grow old after the nostalgia's over and you kind of realize what it really is. But for what it was supposed to be, it wasn't supposed to be like this map that you play over and over again. It was supposed to be just one ending to a great game, and I think they nailed it honestly. And I think it's a great map. I still like playing it, and it comes in at number 13, I think. All right, in at number 12, we have Draha. This gameplay is actually speed run, so that explains the timer on the right. But basically, I think Draha is an awesome map, but I think it's overrated, even though I think it's such an awesome map. I mean, it's at number 12. That's really, really good. But a lot of people put this map at like, number 3, number 2. I've even seen a list at number 1 a few times. A lot of people love this map, and quite frankly, I do too, but I still think it's overrated. And before I talk about how good it is, I just want to go over the few issues I think it has before I talk about how much I love Draha. I think the map isn't as cool as people say it is. I mean, yeah, the setting's cool, but it's not like an Origins cool or like, a Shadows of Evil cool. It's a cool map, but like, the setting, it's a castle and, it's cool at first, but it's not going to wow you every time you play it. I also don't like the bows really. I know a lot of people do. I don't like how you kind of have to craft them, or you feel there's a certain feeling you get like, wow, man, I don't know how to craft the bows. I don't want to play Horizon Draha. It's one of those feelings, man, and I don't like when you have to craft stuff in zombies. I don't like that. And maybe it's just more of a me thing, but I don't like it. And also, the map's very easy. The lightning bow, which is seen in this footage right now, is easily one of the best wonder weapons of all time. It's very, very, very overpowered. It's ridiculous. And this map's also, it kind of flows weird, in my opinion. It's not bad, but it's kind of a weird flow how you kind of, you go from like one part of the map to another part of the map very quickly, and you don't have enough time to really like observe and just admire how beautiful this map really is. I'd say they kind of did a poor job in the flowing, but maybe that's a player issue at large because most of us are really quick to just get that Wrath of the Ancients and then start crafting, whatever bow we're trying to craft. And, I think that could be a little bit of an issue. But overall, let's talk about how much I love Horizon Draha. It is a very, very awesome map. It is just one of the best maps in Black Ops 3. I love Horizon Draha. It is just one of the. It is just an awesome map. I really do like it, and there is a few negative things about it, but overall, if you really look at it as a whole, it is a great map, and I think it comes in at number 12. Okay, in at number 11, this will be a surprise. It is Classified. Classified is everything 5 should have been. It is a big jump from 5 to Classified on this list, but even though technically they're similar, I just feel like Classified is that much better. Classified is a very fun map. It is a lot better than 5. It is definitely, definitely the better alternative to the hexagon or the pentagon. I don't know terms, but it is just a better alternative all around. It is very, very good. Um, I really like this map. I feel like it just took everything that was good about 5, made it better, and then took everything that was bad about 5 and got rid of it. And I just think that's pretty much what Classified is. And it is honestly just one of my favorite zombie experiences ever. Just 5 remastered is just that's just so cool, and I just thought this was a great map. Okay? I don't know what else to say really. It's basically 5 reimagined for the better. And that's why I have it at number 11. I just think it's a great map. All right. In at number 10, yes, we are entering the top 10 best maps. We have Buried. Buried is a great map. I used to actually be obsessed with this map. I used to play this map every single day. I used to love Buried. There was a point where I might have called it my favorite map ever, but as time has passed by, I realize it is definitely not the best map ever, even though it is still a great map. Let me go over a few things wrong with this map before I go over how much I love it. Buried is an easy map. You have the Paralyzer, which is an infinite ammo, infinite damage wonder weapon. And No, you don't have to go running around crafting it. No, you don't have to find it. You have to do quests for it. You just find it in the mystery box. And you want to know a good way to guarantee that could ever happen? You use Leroy, which is a cool addition to the map, to lock down the mystery box. And, keep hitting it and you'll get the paralyzer eventually. But other than that, this map is just very good. I love the Easter egg. Pack-a-Punch was a bit tedious to get to, but it is very healthy to kind of explore the map that way. The mansion, just exploring through the mansion, through all the witches, they'll steal your points. It's very creepy. I really love that part of Buried. But it could be a little bit frustrating. I said twice, by the way. That just shows how good this map is. You don't have to make everything double. But as you can see in this gameplay, by the relaxing end, the witches just took all his money. But at the end, you get a free perk, and that's pretty cool. Only if you kill the witches, and I believe if you don't get touched. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see right here. Nope, yeah, you can't get touched. But Buried, it's a great map. It is fantastic. It is one of the best maps out there. It is a very great and fun casual experience. I love Buried a lot. It is just absolutely perfect. And it turns out you do get a free perk as long as you kill all the witches. But Buried, easy map, but it's great. Alright, at number 9, we have the ending that is Nacht Der Untoten. Fun little fact, this is the only zombies map that almost, and I mean like almost, not like just a little bit. Okay, maybe just a little bit, maybe just a little bit, almost maybe cry. Um, Little fun fact in there. I don't want to throw in any spoilers. I don't want to talk about the Easter egg, but yeah, just a little fun little fact in there. It maybe almost maybe shed a tear. That's all I had to say. But Nacht Der Untoten, um, it's an ending. It's the last map in Black Ops 4. I hope it's not the ending to the zombie storyline. I really hope it's not because I really do enjoy it. I don't want the original crew to be gone. That would suck. But let's not get into the story because I understand lots of people don't follow the story to zombies. A lot of people really don't. But um, the map's good. It's basically Call of the Dead reimagined with extra stuff for better, in my opinion. Um, I still think Call of the Dead's a better map all around, but I think that Nacht Der Untoten, it's a good map. It is one of the best maps ever, I think. It doesn't really have anything that's necessarily wrong with it, like design wise, but it's a great map. I think it deserves to be high up the list. It was a great ending. I think it was a great concept, a great story to the map. I think this was a very, very good map. It does definitely has earned its spot in the top 10 of this list. That is for sure. But in my personal opinion, I like this map. I could see maybe why some people don't, but I think I found a pretty good spot for it at number 9. I think it is a really, really good map. Alright, and at number 8, yes, we are getting towards the very, very, very good maps. We have Call of the Dead, which is right below Nacht Der Untoten. Just because I think, it's the classic one, it's the classic entity of the map, and it also is a little bit more sound. I really like Call of the Dead. Great environment, great characters, celebrity cast, of course. George Romero, which he could be a little bit annoying, but he's not much of an issue. Map is very, very unique. It is one of the first really like modern maps in zombies. Cool under weapons, really unique under weapons. Simple map yet complicated at the same time. I know it sounds weird, but it's a really good map, and I think it comes in at number 8. Okay, and at number 6, just barely missing the top 5, but regardless, it is still a fantastic map. It is 9. 9 is one of the coolest concepts for a map ever. It's a gladiator stadium, or gladiator spot, and you're pretty much like a gladiator. Um, that's cool. That's really awesome. That's great for a zombies map. Really, it's really really awesome. It's really unique. I feel that is probably one of the best concepts for a map ever. aside from one other map on this list. It is designed very well. It flows very perfectly. Um, it has a great Easter egg. Great, wonder weapons. And I know I've said this already, but just the setting is just perfect. It is great. It is an awesome setting for a zombies map. You wouldn't think it'd be a good zombies map, but it is. And 9 is just one of the. It's just a perfect launch map. It is so great. Anyone could hop on this map, have a great time. It is very fun. It is a package. It's a unit. There's not much to say. 9 is a great map. Okay, we are now in the top 5 best zombie maps of all time. And to kick off the number 5, we have Gorod Krovi. Gorod Krovi is it's it's just one of the best maps of all time. It's at number 5. Um, Let me explain what this map is. It's a torn down city that has been taken over by zombies and dragons. Yes, dragons. And you fly the dragon to get the Pack-a-Punch in a really cool cinematic. And to get to that cinematic, to set up for Pack-a-Punch, it's really cool. It's a really cool, fun challenge that you have to, get the cylinder codes, which are very easy to obtain. They drop a lot, and then you have to go defend those pods and get your, your command collars or whatever they're called. But it is just a very, very cool system. I really like doing Pack-a-Punch on this map, and also, the Easter egg is very fun. The boss fight isn't that good, I will admit, but it's still a really fun Easter egg all around. But also the Ray Gun Mark III on this map exclusively, I believe, it is just a very good wonder weapon. When you get this thing out of the box, it is awesome. The FAMAS was brought back in the form of the FFAR, which is what you are seeing in the footage right now. The design is very, very good. It flows very nicely how you go from one part to the other and you slowly make your way up to the power. It is just done very well. And Gorod Krovi is like there's this feel in other maps when you die, you kind of you're like, oh man, I have to do this all over again. I don't get that feeling, Gorod. I always love setting up. I always love seeing where you're gonna get out of the box because there's a lot of good weapons in Gorod. And again, this the theme of the dragons is just awesome. And there's a lot to do with Gorod. Not like a Shadows of Evil, but it's like there's still a lot to do. And Gorod it's a great map, and if I could play it again and again and again all night, I would definitely do that. I love playing this map. I could play it again and again and again, over and over again, and it comes in at number 5. Okay, so at number 4, you finally found it. It is Mob of the Dead. Um, Mob of the Dead is a great map for a number of reasons. It has one of the best stories to a zombies map ever, in my opinion. It is also a very smooth, well-designed map. It goes very well. It's like a movie. It's like it feels like a story. It's a very awesome setting for a map. Um, the Pack-a-Punch and the way you get the Pack-a-Punch is inspired by real events of the Alcatraz prison. It is very cool. It is very unique. I love the setting of this map. I also love the wonder weapons of this map. I love the Easter egg. Almost everything about this map is just perfect. Um, it is designed. I think I said this before already, but it's designed very well. It's almost perfect, really. And the afterlife for this map. It kind of inspired the Beast, to Shadows of Evil, which is my favorite map of all time. But also, it brought so many good things to the table. It was a very, very, very different map for its time. I feel like without Mob of the Dead, there won't be a lot of the maps we have now. I don't know if that's necessarily a fair comparison, but still, Mob of the Dead is an easy top 5 in anyone's book. Okay, in at number 3, yes, we have Ancient Evil. Ancient Evil is by far one of the most beautiful and most well-designed maps of all time. The theme of this map is just awesome, and I didn't mean to use the word design. I meant to say it is one of the best flowing and most beautiful maps of all time. Ancient Evil is awesome. The theme of being like in Greek mythology, kind of that mythology like mystical sort of theme. that like it's kind of like an ancient city that's kind of like undergroundish, and you're using like mythical creatures to travel and fight, and they're kind of part of the Easter egg. That is just so awesome. I love almost everything about this map. It is designed very well too. It's not perfect, but it is designed sound enough to work for what the map is. And really, Ancient Evil is just one of those maps that, you play and you're just like, wow, this is awesome. And a lot of people don't appreciate this map, but until you really do the Easter egg, you do all the steps, you really get through this map, you do everything it kind of offers, then you appreciate it and you're like, wow, this is probably one of the best experiences I have ever had. That's sort of how I felt about Ancient Evil. I didn't used to like this map. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people don't because it's on Black Ops 4. But when you give it a try, it is truly one of the best maps ever. It's sort of like an enhanced version of Gorod Krovi, if that makes sense, but just a lot better. And I don't have much to say. It's just a vibe I can't describe. It is just truly one of the best maps ever. You could seriously consider it for a number one spot in some cases, but I have two spots that are just slightly better in my opinion. Alright, and at number two, it is Origins. Origins is, it's not as cool as Ancient Evil, but I'd say the vibe and the story is definitely a lot better. So basically, I think that Origins has a vibe that no other map has matched. When you spawn into Origins, when you're playing through Origins, it feels different than any other map you've probably ever played. It feels more like, you're on some sort of quest, like an ancient mysterious quest that you're having to get through. You know, it's a very unique setting, it's very cool, and it feels like you're playing an entire different game. Origins is the real deal. It is, in most people's books, the best zombies map of all time, and I could definitely see why. Personally, I thought this map was overrated until I replayed it again just last night, and I just realized how good this map really is. It is just tremendous. Everything about this map is just awesome. Um, it's similar to Horizon Draha and how I don't really like the theme of the four elemental weapons sort of, but it's really not much of a problem. Learn to craft them. Origins is by far the best zombies map of all time to a lot of people. And really, I could put it at number one and put my number one spot at number two. It really wouldn't make much of a difference. Origins is one of the best maps of all time. That is no doubt. And like I said, Easter egg, the design, the story, the vibe, everything from this map is just spot on. It is just so conclusive, and it is just an awesome ending to Black Ops 2. There's nothing quite like Origins. It is one of a kind, and in its own right, you could say it is the best map of all time. Really. A lot of people think this map is overrated. I just don't think so. Origins is one of the greatest maps of all time with no question. I love it. I'm sure everyone else does. And it comes in at number two. Alright. And at number one, the greatest zombies map of all time, in my opinion, it's Shadows of Evil. Shadows of Evil will always be my number one. I just can't get over how much I like this map. By far, it is just the coolest, just one of the best, most beautiful, best designed, best story, best environment, best setting, best characters, best everything about this map. I mean, Shadows of Evil is it's just something else, man. Shadows of Evil is just, I actually used to not like this map. I actually used to sort of hate it. Because when you play this map a lot, especially when Black Ops 3 was still extremely popular, you kind of like you think about it and you kind of realize like, man, like this map, like it's so tedious, it's so boring, Oh, there's Horizon Draha, there's Glock Krovi, Revelations, that's all that, and you kind of forget about Shadows. But, time has passed, and when you come back to Black Ops 3, you just appreciate how amazing this map was. It is by far, with no question in my mind, maybe other than Origins, but with no question, it is the best zombies map ever. Um, it has a great Easter egg. It is huge. It is a massive map, really. There's so much to do. There's so many side quests. There's so many things you can unlock, so many things you could do, so many quests, so many Easter eggs. There's so much to do. It is just so unique with everything it is. The theme can be a little bit weird with the squiddy things and the apocalypse and whatever they're called, and but that's not an issue really. The best boss zombies are on this map. The Margwa is so cool, a really cool, nice chaotic element to zombies. Um, the map is just the jazz music is just something that it's just an awesome vibe that I can't describe on any other map. Um, the map is genuinely like just cool. It's just beautiful how everything is. It's just like a really cool 1940s jazzy, city. There's just so much to say that I like about this map. It is massive. There's so much to do. It is one of the best, just best smoothing, like best relaxing, and also best chaotic maps of all time. It was the launch map too. You don't need a DLC to play this map. That's how good it is. That's how much they wanted you to just have a good time in Black Ops 3 because they knew how good this map was. And there's not much to say. It is truly just one of the greatest maps of all time, and in my opinion at least, the best zombies map of all time, and my favorite map of all time. There is nothing more than I like to play than Shadows of Evil.